The purpose of this video is to show one how to measure the camber angle and toe angles of a solid axle housing assembly to ensure that it's straight, or if it's not straight, how much it's off by. So step one is get the axle housing on jack stands. You need to be able to spin the housing around on the jack stand, so make sure you're clear of any brackets. Doesn't really matter if the jack stands are, if everything's level or not, because we're going to account for that. So step one in this, take your angle finder, put it on the clean part of the pinion flange. Don't get it on the centering ring. It's got to be on the smooth, flat area. And then adjust the housing rotation until the angle reads very close to 0. There's 0.1 degrees. It's plenty close. Now take the angle finder, turn it 90 degrees. So now we're measuring laterally to see whether the axle housing is level or not on the jack stands. So in this case, the axle housing is tilted this way, 1.8 degrees, the right hand side higher. So I'm going to notate that on our sheet. It's important to realize that you cannot zero the angle finder and try to then take measurements going on. All your data will be garbage if you do that. So leave it non-zeroed, just note that it's 1.8 degrees tilted this way. So now, next step, we know the thing is square this way, we know how off of level it is this way. So we take the angle finder, rotate the axle flange carefully until we have a straight shot at the flange. Put the angle finder on it. Make sure it's as vertical as you can get it. And measure the angle. So this side shows 88.2 to 0.3 degrees. Excuse me, 0.2. And so at 88.3, and it is angled with the front more inboard than the rear, so that's toe in. So basically this has 1.8 degrees of toe in on this side. Now go to the opposite side, which is the left side of the car. Take the same measurement. So this side reads 88.0, but it's towed out. One other thing we can check is rotate the axle flange, say 120 degrees. Put the gauge back on, and we still read 88.0. Rotate it to 60. Still reads 88.0, so our axle flange isn't bent. This is all the housing that's not straight. So that's 2 degrees tilt out on this side. Okay, so now we can correct these values. We know this side is 1.8 degrees higher, which makes it more towed in. So you subtract 1.8 from 1.8, and we get 0 degrees on this side, actual toe. And on the other side, we know that's 2 degrees measured, and that's that's toe out this way, and we know the axle housing is tilted 1.8 degrees, so we know it's 2 minus 1.8, so we actually have 0.2 degrees of toe out on that side actual. So that's very, very close to being straight in the toe direction. So to measure camber, you do virtually the same process, but we turn the axle housing 90 degrees and then support this with a jack stand or blocks of wood or something. Make sure the pinion flange is vertical and repeat the measurements on the ends of the axles and make sure to subtract the 1.8 degree correction, and that'll tell you what your camber angles are.